Hey gang, what's good? Welcome back to my channel. Today we're going to be going through the current WWE roster and figuring out who on the roster has what chances of being inducted into the WWE Hall of Fame in the future. We have a couple different tiers here that we're going to be ranking them through. We have for sure, these are complete locks, people that are definitely going to be going into the Hall of Fame. Potentially, people that have a great resume, maybe need a little bit more to be pushed through, or maybe it would come down to just if the timing works out, if the company sees them in that light down the road. Next is too soon. These are people that I don't want to say aren't going into the Hall of Fame. They have a great start, maybe, but they don't have that full resume yet. Then we have never say never. These are people that probably aren't going into the Hall of Fame, but I don't want to completely say no because they're not as low as the next category, which is sorry, no. These are people that definitely I don't think are getting into the Hall of Fame. Maybe, I guess you never know, but these are people that I'll be really confident in saying it ain't gonna happen for them. Let's get started with AJ Styles, who recently retired, and I mean, the work he's done inside the WWE is Hall of Fame worthy, and then the way the WWE has been looking at outside work as well in recent years. I mean, look at the Great Muta getting inducted for his work outside of the WWE, and when you combine that all, he is for sure going into the Hall of Fame. AJ Lee is next. That's AJ Styles. AJ Lee is also for sure going into the Hall of Fame. I think there was a little bit of a maybe before her return, but now that she's back and they're stressing the importance of her first run, everyone seems to be in agreement and on the same page that AJ Lee is super important to the women's evolution and to wrestling as a whole. Next, Akira Tozawa. Sorry, Akira. Most likely, we aren't going to be seeing you in the Hall of Fame. Alba Fire, at the rate she's going right now, how is she still? I feel like she still has a career in her. She's such a good wrestler, but what we're seeing right now, I think we have to say sorry, no. Next, we have Aleister Black. I'm gonna say too soon. He has such a character about him. He's a beloved figure. He's a great wrestler. I could definitely see him building a Hall of Fame career, but at the moment it's not there. So I'm just gonna say it's too soon for Aleister Black. Alexa Bliss, for sure. She's a multi-time women's champion, singles matches at WrestleMania, still on top with this recent run with the biggest pop in Royal Rumble history pretty much with her return. Cashed in Money in the Bank on Ronda Rousey and Nia Jax and won. Alexa Bliss is such an icon from that first run to present day, and she still has more years in her career that we can expect to see her building out this career path even further to make it Hall of Fame worthy, which it already is. Apollo Crews, sorry, no. He's been there for so long, and he hasn't had that big breakout moment, so I'm not sure if it's going to happen if it hasn't yet. Asuka, for sure. Like AJ Styles, she has this great body of work outside of the WWE, and since she's been in the WWE, I mean, first women's Royal Rumble winner, that's massive. Her work at NXT is maybe the best championship work in WWE history. And then since then, she's been on top of the main roster, winning championships in multiple divisions, tag team and singles. Singles matches at WrestleMania, she has multiple under her belt. She hasn't gotten that big win at WrestleMania, which I think she deserves before she finishes her career. But definitely a Hall of Fame career for Asuka. Austin Theory, I'm going to say too soon. He keeps getting these start-stop pushes throughout his career, but overall, Austin Theory is a great wrestler and he's still very young, so he definitely has the potential. Hopefully this new storyline that he's in with the Vision will lead to something with Seth that sees his talent finally shine. Bayley, I've seen some people put her in the level below this, but I'm going to say for sure, if not as a single star, which she should, but she does often get overlooked, she should be inducted as the Four Horsewomen. And I think we're kidding ourselves if we don't think that the Four Horsewomen are going to get inducted one day as a group, because that is just bound to happen. I mean, you have four incredible talents. Sasha Banks isn't on this list, and even though she's not in the company, I'd put her in for sure, because I think the Four Horsewomen, again, they're a lock as the four. Here's Becky, for sure. And even if it wasn't for the Four Horsewomen, Becky would be for sure, because she main evented WrestleMania, The Rise with the Man. She was the most popular superstar in the company at the time. Multi-time world champion, just like Bayley. But Becky, of course, has always been treated a little more seriously than Bayley. So, for sure, for Becky Lynch. Bianca Belair, also for sure. I've seen people put her this level below as well. But I think Bianca Belair's, she won a Royal Rumble, main evented WrestleMania, won the World Championship at WrestleMania, won multiple titles since then, world titles, and tag team division, she ran it for like a year and a half. So Bianca Belair, for sure, is already a Hall of Fame career early in her career, and she has many years left to go. Hopefully, she can return soon. Uncle Howdy, I'm gonna say, oh gosh, I'm gonna say potentially. I almost want to say too soon, but he's getting older. Bo Dallas has been around for a long time. He's not getting inducted for his past work, I'll tell you that. The only chance he has is for this work as Uncle Howdy. Maybe with some sort of Bray Wyatt tribute, the Wyatt Six get in, or Bo Dallas gets in. I almost want to put him in Never Say Never, but I'm gonna leave him in potentially for now, and we'll see what happens, I guess, in the future, and if I'm wrong, because I don't know if I feel good about that one. Brock Lesnar. This might be controversial because he seems like a lock for sure, right? With the resume he has on paper. I'm going to put him in potentially because I think that there's still a possibility that the woke tides turn and all of a sudden he's viewed in a very negative light again, because there's still a lot of people that view him that way because of the allegations. I don't feel comfortable putting him in for sure because of those very real world allegations and the chances that the company might want to distance themselves again from him in the future. So I think that's a very real possibility, so I'm going to put him in potentially for that reason. Braun Breaker, and I'll just go ahead and Bronson Reed, both too soon. Braun Breaker, I think right now, of course, has a little more potential than Bronson Reed to get there, but they both have the potential to get there. It's just very early in their careers, so they're going in too soon. Candice LeRae, I'm going to say never say never. I'd love to say too soon for her, but it seems like she's already kind of found her niche in the WWE, which is like not a Hall of Fame career, but a career where she makes her money, she gets on TV. She's such a great talent, but she's been doing it for a while, and she hasn't reached that level yet, so I don't think it's going to happen for her. But never say never for Candice LeRae. Carmelo Hayes, I'm going to also say too soon. I pray to God that Carmelo Hayes has a Hall of Fame career at the end of the day. He's such an amazing talent, but it's just too soon. So hopefully we'll see him, Braun, Bronson. Hopefully they all make it up to that level soon. Charlotte Flair, for sure. 14-time women's champion. Are you kidding me? I know they happened in quick succession, but that number is what WWE cares about. They don't care about the number of days, the number of defenses. They care about the number of reigns. And Charlotte Flair has 14 of those. There's a chance Charlotte Flair breaks John Cena's record. She's still going to be wrestling for a bit longer here before she wraps it up, for sure. And she's still doing it at a high level. So I think Charlotte, for sure, is a lock, of course. Maybe the most of a lock so far we've seen out of any of these people. Chelsea Green. I know... Oh, gosh. I'm going to put her in Never Say Never, but in my head, she's a Hall of Famer. I love her so much. She's such a good wrestler. She's such a good character. I think that there's potential for her to get up there, for sure. She could do something iconic. She can win a Money in the Bank briefcase, have a great run with that, have a great cash-in, have a great run with the world title. I hope we see that all happen, but I'm just not sure about that at this point. But never say never, and hopefully we don't say never and she gets it. CM Punk, of course, for sure. They could induct him today, and there'd be no questions. Multi-time world champion throughout multiple decades, on top the whole time, main eventing WrestleMania this year, already had so many WrestleMania moments and matches, and he's the greatest, best in the world. Cody Rhodes, I'm gonna say for sure. People love to say, oh well, he's only been on top for a short period of time, but in that short period of time, you have to think, he main evented WrestleMania, 3 times? And now this year he's going into another World Championship match, which I'm not sure if it's in a main event, but it's still going to be a World Championship match at WrestleMania. So Cody Rhodes, for sure, is going to be into the Hall of Fame. Just for that last run. He could have just done those last few years, and that's it, and he would have gone in, but he does have the background of being in the legacy and having those years of being a veteran behind him. The question is, when he gets inducted, will they mention AEW and his growth there? Because sometimes they do like to mention those outside influences on someone's career, but I'm not sure if that'll happen for Cody with AEW. Damian Priest, I want to say too soon, but I'm going to put him in Never Say Never, because I don't think it's a probability for Damian Priest. I think you have to win a couple world championships to be potentially, or have that iconic character like Uncle Howdy with that connection to Bray. But Damian Priest, I think he's already probably peaked in the WWE. I don't think he's going to win another world championship. But never say never. They obviously see a lot in him. He's a great wrestler, so never say never. Dominic Mysterio, I'm going to say too soon. he has all the tools right now to have a Hall of Fame career throughout his life, and I'm excited to see it. I'm confident we will see it, and he probably will have a Hall of Fame career by the end of the day. Right now, it's just too soon. Up next, we have Dragon Lee. I'm going to say never. He's been around for a bit, and he hasn't really broken through. But maybe. I mean, you never know with these guys that still have a little bit of mileage left. You never know. Drew McIntyre, for sure. He's a Royal Rumble winner, WrestleMania main eventer. He's champion again right now. I think he's a 3-time world champion now, so he's definitely going to be... is he 3 or 4? Maybe 3-time WWE champion, 1-time World Heavyweight champion, I think. You can fact check me on that in the comments. But Drew McIntyre, for sure, is going to be in the Hall of Fame. What a career for Drew McIntyre. Next up, I have Eric Rowan. And interestingly, this might be a controversial one. I'm going to put Eric Rowan in for sure. Because I think Bray Wyatt will get inducted. I also think the Wyatt family will get inducted into the Hall of Fame for sure. And that'll include Eric Rowan. So Eric Rowan, I think, for sure will be a Hall of Famer due to that. Elton Prince, I don't think I really wanted to talk about him because of his injury right now. So I'm just going to go ahead and drop him down at the bottom because I don't think... There's some people we're not going to talk about down here for multiple reasons. Elton Prince, I think it would be a little unfair to talk about him right now while he's injured. Eric, we're going to have him represent the Viking Raiders, and I'm going to say sorry, no. I think that they've peaked as well. They had the great matches in NXT. They had some good runs on the main roster as well, but overall, no, I don't think it's going to happen for them. Finn Balor, I'm going to say potentially. He's definitely a big name. He definitely has the potential to go up there. First ever Universal Champion. It's going to come down to what he does in this latter half of his career. If he's going to be delivering at that high level for a couple more years. If he does end up getting a world championship at some point, all those things will definitely play a role in if he will make it up to that for sure level. Julia, too soon. She definitely has the skills to get there. We just don't know if that's going to happen yet, so she's definitely going in too soon. Grayson Waller, I'm going to put him in Never Say Never. He's been around for a bit also, and he doesn't really have that kind of character that is going to be raking in the championships anytime soon. But he's a really funny character. I think he has longevity in the company because of that. So if they continue to find niches for him like they are with the New Day, he's definitely going to be on TV for a long time, so never say never. Gunther, for sure. He retired John Cena, AJ Styles, Goldberg. He's for sure getting into the Hall of Fame just based off of that alone. Not to mention World Championship, longest reigning Intercontinental Champion. And in the future, he's definitely going to be main eventing WrestleManias at some point, winning more championships. Long road ahead for Gunther being on top. Ilya Dragunov. I'm going to say too soon. Put him with Carmelo Hayes right now. Very similar story for both of them. Copy-paste for Ilya what I said about Carmelo. Io Sky. This might be early. I'm going to say for sure. They call her the greatest wrestler on the planet every single week. Michael Cole does. And I think that they believe that, and they certainly treat her like it. Multiple-time women's champion. Walked into Mania twice as world champion. Once she entered and left as world champion. And again this year, she's going to be doing something with the tag team championships. I think Io Sky has many years being on top left in that company. And she might be my boldest prediction for a for sure. But Io Sky, I think for sure, will be in the Hall of Fame one day. Jacob Fatu, I'm going to say too soon. I almost want to put him in potentially, but I think it's too soon overall. He has all the tools to get there, and I hope he does. Jade Cargill, I'm going to say too soon as well. A lot of people are falling into too soon. I think she has all the tools. Again, she maybe isn't as good of a wrestler as some of these other characters in too soon, but she has improved a lot, and if she continues to improve at the rate she has been, then I have no doubt that she has all the potential to become a Hall of Famer. Already a WWE Women's Champion, so we'll see where that goes, and probably more for her in the future. Jey Uso and Jimmy Uso for sure. Probably not individually. They tried the Jey Uso experiment and it failed, but the Usos as a tag team are probably the greatest tag team in the history of professional wrestling, so the Usos are definitely going to be put into the Hall of Fame together as the Usos, for sure. Johnny Gargano, I want to put him in too soon, but I'm going to put him in Never Say Never just because he's had that niche, like Candice LeRae, already on the main roster, where I feel like it's going to be hard for them to wiggle out of it. Maybe mid-card championships in his future, but I don't think they're going to put him into that world championship level that is needed to be a Hall of Famer. Kairi Sane, this is a tough one also. I don't think so. I'm going to put her in Never Say Never also, because I don't want to put her in Sorry No. But Kairi Sane, a lot would have to happen for her to get bumped up to that level. She'd have to be presented on the main roster like how she was presented on NXT, and I just don't see that happening anytime soon. Kevin Owens, for sure, is a Hall of Famer. One of the greatest to ever do it. For sure, he's going into the Hall of Fame. Kofi Kingston, for sure. They could put him in individually, but he's definitely going to be put in as a member of the New Day, regardless of if he gets in individually or not. Kit Wilson, we're going to say too soon for Kit Wilson. I think he definitely has potential because of this newfound moment that he's having with his theme song. We'll see how far that stretches him. But he's still young, and he still has so much time to make it there. LA Knight, I'm going to say too soon. He definitely has the crowd behind him to the point that a Hall of Famer would have, but he definitely isn't building out that resume yet. They definitely keep on teasing him, making it up to that level, and I don't know if they're going to pull the trigger anytime soon. Unfortunately, he is a little bit older as well, so it's not a sure thing for him. But he's going into my too soon category, even though he is a little older, because he's LA Knight, and the crowd loves him. I love LA Knight, and I hope he makes it there, but I'm just not sure. Liv Morgan's going to go into potentially. She's right on that cusp, right? These are the people that are right on this cusp. I guess not these two. These two have their different reasons for why they're here, but Finn and Liv Morgan are both on the cusp. Liv just won the Royal Rumble. She's probably should be at the top of this potentially tier, right, if we were doing it that way, because she's probably going to win the World Championship at WrestleMania. If not, I mean, she won the Women's Royal Rumble. Two-time Women's Champion, I believe. Yes, two-time Women's Champion. Cashed in on Ronda Rousey for the first one, and then the second one she won from Becky Lynch. I mean, come on, what a career for Liv Morgan already. And she's still young as well, so she still has a lot of time to go. Logan Paul, for sure. I can't stand him most of the time, but I mean, he's a celebrity, and they love to put celebrities into the Hall of Fame. But yeah, I think Logan Paul, for sure, they're going to be milking that celebrity status. And on top of that, he does have a great body of work in the ring, even if it is spread out and choreographed. It's good. So Logan Paul, I think, for sure, will be in the Hall of Fame. Let's see if we can't buy ourselves a little more room here. There we go. Okay, next we have Lyra Valkyria, who I think I'm going to put her in potentially. I'd want to say too soon. When we look at the names down here, you might think, oh, well, Jade Cargill's a better star. Julia and Lyra, you might see them on a similar wavelength. I have Chelsea down here in Never Say Never. But here's my reasoning with Lyra. First Women's Intercontinental Champion, which I know Chelsea's first United States Champion. But they booked Lyra much better. She had that first reign, and she killed it with Becky on pay-per-views, on normal episodes of Raw. She was killing it. She already has that legendary streak for that first year of her career, and I think that they could definitely turn that into a Hall of Fame career much easier than how they booked Chelsea's first reign, unfortunately, was a mess. How they're booking Julia right now is a mess. So I put Lyra over Jade, Braun, LA because of that fact that she had that great Intercontinental Championship reign. And you might disagree with me, and that's okay. Next up, we have Matt Cardona, who I'm going to say, oh God, I'm going to put him in Sorry No. I think a lot would have to change for him to get into the Hall of Fame. I mean, I know he's back right now, but he's already losing matches. I think he's back just because of the nostalgia pop, the paycheck. I'm happy for him. I hope he gets more out of it, but I don't know if he will. So I'm going to put him in Sorry No. A lot would have to go right for him to be Hall of Fame considerate. Maxine Dupree, I'm going to put into Never Say Never. She's young, the crowd loves her, so there's definitely potential for her. But I think right now we're definitely looking at not the Hall of Fame level start that you would need. She definitely has that Intercontinental Championship win. She's improved a lot in the ring, but she's just not quite there. But Never Say Never. Mia Yim, Sorry No. She's been around for a bit. She's kind of filling her niche, much like Candice, but I'm going to put her a little below Candice because I think it's hard right now. She's injured, so maybe there's that bias in my head, but no, I don't think Mia Yim's going to be going there. Next, we have Montez Ford. Whew, I'm going to say too soon. It's going to depend on if they pull the trigger on him being a single star or not. Because if they do, he has so much potential to become one of the greatest to ever do it. So it's going to come down to if they do that or not. Next, we have Naomi, and I'm going to say potentially. She had that great last run. She's a legend in her own right already, a veteran of the sport. I think it's going to come down to, I feel like she needs that one more reign, one more moment maybe to get her to that Hall of Fame level. So I'm going to put her in potentially. I think she has that potential to step up to that next level. Natalya is next, and this might be controversial, but I'm going to say for sure. I know she's not the flashiest. She's not everyone's favorite, but Natalya, you have to remember, guys, Natalya has been around for a long time, and she's a good wrestler. She's a great wrestler. She trains all of these new girls, and she does a great job. Natalya is just such talent, and they trust her to train people like Ronda Rousey, to train people like Maxine Dupree. And now she has this whole another iteration with Natty, which I think even if she didn't have, I think if she called it quits right now, they would put her into the Hall of Fame. She's been a locker room leader for so long, so I think Natalya's a lock on the Hall of Fame, which you may not agree with me on that, but think about the words I said, because I think it's a lock. Nia Jax, I'm going to say potentially. I could definitely see that happening. She's been around for a bit, a couple world championships, so I think it would be unfair to put her into a lower category since she has those championships, but I don't think she's a lock by any means. Nikki Bella's here. She's already a Hall of Famer. I don't even know why she's included. Obafemi, too soon. Great showing in the Rumble. I hope he gets that Hall of Fame career. He's definitely ready for it. He's worthy of it. We'll see if they give it to him. Nikki Cross. You might want to say lower, right? But I'm going to put her... I'm going to put her in... Nah, I'll go never say never. It's hard because I'm thinking about... I mean, she's a former women's champion. You might forget that. She cashed in to become the Raw Women's Champion as Nikki ASH, and now she's finding success in the Wyatt Six as well, in this iconic group that might get something Bray Wyatt adjacent in the future. So she has a better case than you might think, but I don't think it's strong enough. Next, I'm sorry to all the Homo sapiens, but sorry, no. Obafemi, oh my gosh, am I racist? Omos is not going to be going into the Hall of Fame. Next, we have Penta. I'm going to say too soon. They definitely see a lot of potential in him. He sells merch like crazy. So I think Penta has that potential to get up there. I don't know if he's going to be a future world champion. But I think it's too soon to tell. He's very new to the WWE. R-Truth, I'm going to say potentially. I want to say for sure. I really do. But, I mean, the way they unceremoniously released him a bit ago, I think tells you all you need to know for how the company sees R-Truth, which is not as high as, unfortunately, we see him. They just don't see him in that same light. So R-Truth is going into potentially. Randy Orton, for sure. They could turn around and induct him tomorrow. No one would bat an eye. Like Rey Mysterio, who is right here. I don't know why he's in this either, because he's also already in the Hall of Fame. But yeah, he would be considered like Rey Mysterio. You can just go ahead and do that whenever you want. No one's going to bat an eye or complain about that. Next, we have Raquel Rodriguez. I'm going to put her in too soon. I might have said never say never if you had asked me a bit ago. But I think overall, Raquel Rodriguez has just been on a tear this last bit of time. She's such a great character who has grown so much. And I think Raquel Rodriguez has that potential to get there more than she did, say, a year ago. How does this look? I'm trying to fit it here as we get more and more people into this tier list. There's so many people on the roster right now. It's so stacked when you look at it like this. Also, it's quite shocking. Next we have, I believe this is Rey Fenix. I'm gonna say too soon. He's not able to buy a pop for his life right now on SmackDown, but he's a fantastic wrestler, and hopefully they continue to give him opportunities and he can eventually win the crowd over. But yeah, it's just too soon for him. Next we have here Rhea Ripley, for sure. It's shocking she hasn't made events to WrestleMania yet. It's one of those things where it's going to happen eventually because it has to. She is the face of the company right now, Rhea Ripley, alongside Cody Rhodes. And Rhea is for sure going to be going into the Hall of Fame for what she has done so far in her career. She's such a draw, and the company knows it. She's not done anytime soon. She's still super young, and we can expect much more from Rhea Ripley moving forward in her career. There we go. Let's see if we can't. Okay. And we're wrapping up here. We have the last couple. We have Roman Reigns next, who is another for sure. What a championship reign by Roman Reigns, and they love to tout it. Do I even have to say anything else? Of course, he's going into the Hall of Fame, probably multiple times because of his factions as well. Just a generational talent. Roxanne Perez, I think that's an easy too soon. She has all the potential. Again, it just depends on if she is able to utilize it, if they're able to utilize her correctly. But it's too soon right now to tell. Rusev, I'm going to put into never say never. He definitely could. He had a great first half of his career, but he's back right now, and unfortunately they aren't using him right, and I think that's a bad omen for how they're going to continue to use him in the future. Next up, we have Sami Zayn. He might be a strong contender for potentially. I really want to put him in for sure. But yeah, I'm going to go potentially. I think he has all the potential. He just needs to win the big one, right? And he hasn't yet, which puts Kevin Owens a little bit above him, right? Kevin Owens' main event in WrestleMania with Stone Cold, and Sami Zayn has only done that as the tag team with Kevin Owens. So I think Kevin Owens is that rung above him, and I think that's just how it has to go, unfortunately for him. Next up, we have... Hello? Okay. Santos Escobar is next, and I think Santos, I'm going to put him in Sorry No. I think they hired him back, right? They have some stuff for him to do in AAA, but it's not going to be... I don't think it's going to be a world-class run on the main roster for him, unfortunately. And then Seth Rollins, of course, for sure. Heist of the Century, Ruse of the Century, main evented night one last year. Definitely has more main events in his future. Main evented with The Rock as well, and Cody Rhodes, such an integral part of that story as well a couple years ago. I mean, come on, Seth Rollins, perhaps the greatest wrestler of all time. I think right now we view him in such a highlight. I think when he's all said and done in his career, we're going to view him even higher than we do now. So I think he's a for sure. Come on, I don't even have to say anything else about him. Sheamus, I'm going to have to put him in potentially. I want to put him in for sure, but I don't know if the company sees him in that light. I mean, the only reason he's still wrestling right now, according to him, is because he wants to win that Intercontinental Championship. He's been saying that for years, and they haven't given him that moment, which means I don't know if they respect him the way that we do. I don't know if they see him the way that we do. So yeah, I think it's like that same curse that Rusev has right now. I think Sheamus also has right now. And if that's the way that they're viewing these guys, then they get knocked down a little bit than what we might want to say. So, like, we might want to put Rusev a little higher, but we can't. And I think the same goes for Sheamus, where we might want to put him in for sure, but he's going to get knocked down to potentially. Next, we have Shinsuke Nakamura. I'm going to put him in never say never. I mean, if they view his outside career the way that they should, and his in the WWE career the way that they should, then he should totally be a Hall of Famer. But I just don't see it happening. I don't see them viewing him in that light. The only pay-per-view match he's gotten, with time in the last couple of years was because AJ was retiring. They did that for AJ, not for Shinsuke. So I think Shinsuke is in the never say never category. I hope they prove me wrong. Solo Sikoa, interestingly, I almost want to put him in for sure because of the bloodline. I'm going to put him into potentially because I'm realizing that Sammy would also probably be in that bloodline induction. And I ended up putting Sammy into potentially. Solo probably should go into too soon based on his career. But I think with that bloodline potential, it's going to bump him up to potentially, which you may disagree with. Again, let me know in the comments if you disagree with that. Stephanie Vaquer is an easy too soon. I always say this, but what a start for Stephanie Vaquer's career. Within... like a year and a half, not even, she's NXT champion, NXT North American champion, and now women's world champion going into WrestleMania. I don't think we've seen a start like this for anyone in like a decade plus. This good of a start for someone in their WWE career. Maybe AJ had that level of a start. Brock Lesnar in 2002, 2003 had that good of a start. And now Stephanie Vaquer definitely has to be in that conversation. Just an incredible start for her, and hopefully it'll continue. If it does, she's going to be a lock for sure. But right now, it's just too soon to tell. The Miz, for sure. I hope he does get his flowers one day and gets put into the Hall of Fame, and I think that's very probable. I mean, what a spanning career. He does whatever they ask him to do at whatever level, and he's been rewarded with championships of every level, WrestleMania main events. Even if you don't like it, he did it, and he's never going to let you forget it. And I think WWE also won't let you forget it, and they'll put him into the Hall of Fame, as they should. Tiffany Stratton, I'm going to put into too soon. She has had a great start, right? Money in the Bank, wins the Money in the Bank, dominant reign, right? Lost the title because of an injury, and now returns at number 30 in the Rumble. Seems like she's setting up maybe for a WrestleMania match with Jade Cargill, which, if true, is just going to add to this great start. She's still super young. I think she has all the potential in the world to get there, and I hope we see it happen. We are finishing up here. We have Xavier Woods next, who I'm going to put into For Sure, right next to Kofi Kingston. Unlike Kofi, I don't think he has the potential to be inducted alone, but the New Day for sure is going to be inducted into the Hall of Fame one day. If Big E was on this list, he'd be right there with them. So yeah, Xavier for sure, as a member of the New Day, will be going into the Hall of Fame. And finally here, I have Zelina Vega. Unfortunately, I'm going to put her in sorry no. I love Zelina Vega. I think she's a great wrestler, great person, but I just don't see the potential for her the way that I do for some of these other characters here on the list. I think she's been there for a while. I think that United States Championship was well-deserved, but I don't know for sure if we're going to see that happen again. And so, at the very least, if that's the very least that we can expect, I think we're not going to be able to see pay-per-view main events. We're not going to see many pay-per-view matches. We're definitely not going to see championship wins at the level of the world titles, right? So I think Zelina belongs in that sorry no category. But yeah, I hope they prove me wrong. I that's all I can say about any of these. If you're upset about any of these, I hope they prove me wrong. I hope everyone on this list, in this tier list, can end up being in that For Sure category, or in contention for that For Sure category. Because I mean, everyone on this list is a great wrestler. I don't think any of these people are destined to fail, right? It's going to come down to how the company uses them, and how they meet those moments, and they all have the potential to do so. But this is my final list. I think I'm pretty happy with it. I don't think there's anything that I would change right off the bat looking at it. I had some maybe controversial picks, but I explained myself, and if you disagree, let me know in the comments. Please like the video and subscribe. I'm going to keep doing this. I'm just doing it for fun, seeing what happens. Yeah, I just had so many opinions watching other wrestling videos, and I said, you know what, I think I like my opinions more than other people's opinions, so I'll just start posting my opinions and see what happens. And so here we are. But this is a bit of a longer video, but I hope you enjoyed it. If you stuck around this long, thank you so much, and I will post again soon. Thank you.